reported today in The Verge. Eating less meat is fine with the majority of Americans. More than 9 in 10 Americans are willing to eat more fruits and vegetables, and more than half are open to giving up some red meat and chowing down on more plant-based meat alternatives, according to a new survey of more than 1,000 adults in the U.S. by Yale and the nonprofit Earth Day Network. Why aren't there more greens on Americans' plates? 64% of survey participants said it was as simple as nobody ever asking them to eat more plant-based foods. Another 58% said that a greener diet just costs too much, and another roughly 50% are either unsure what plant-based foods to buy or don't know how to cook them. Whatever the barrier, experts say that it's an environmental imperative for people to eat more plants. If we do not make the connection between food that we're eating and climate change, we're doing ourselves a disservice, says Jillian Semaan, Food and Environment Director at the Earth Day Network. The most immediate action anyone can take on climate change today is to look at what they're putting on their plate and what they're putting in their body, she tells The Verge. A bite of meat typically comes with a bigger carbon footprint than a bite of fruits, vegetables, or grains. That's because it generally takes more energy and resources to raise livestock. Think about it this way, instead of raising crops to feed people, there's an extra step of raising crops to raise animals to feed people. Livestock are responsible for 14.5% of all the greenhouse gas emissions humans pump into the atmosphere, and a majority of that comes from cows. Cattle farming in Brazil is also a culprit behind deforestation and, consequently, fires in the Amazon rainforest. For someone who wants to minimize their own contributions to the climate crisis, there's evidence that the single best thing an individual can do is to eat less meat and dairy, at least for those who live in more affluent countries where people tend to eat more meat. There are variations within countries. In the United States, the diets of white Americans disproportionately contribute to climate change compared to the typical diets of Black and Latinx communities. Food trends could help more Americans put down their meat patties and pick up a veggie one instead. The Impossible Burger, which tries so hard to be meat that it fakes the bloody center of a medium-rare patty, moved from restaurant menus to grocery stores and fast food chains. Impossible Pork could be coming to a plate near you soon, too. Another meat alternative, the Beyond Burger, generates 90% less planet-heating greenhouse gases and has a 99% smaller impact on water scarcity compared to a quarter pound of U.S. beef, according to a study by the University of Michigan that was commissioned by. For more on this story, visit the news article link.